If you are someone who is out there in the world looking for a career for yourself in life and you don't know what to choose, you're trying to figure out which one's going to give you the most reward, pay, job security, which one is going to give you experience, then accounting is still a great contender for you to choose and consider to be your career of choice in life. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a report issued by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants called the AICPA Trends Report, which is a report that tells you that there's still opportunity in accounting and you, yes, you, can choose to take advantage of this opportunity. So let's get into what the AICPA Trends Report is saying about you and your ability to be successful in life as an accountant. So the AICPA Trends Report is a report that comes out about every 2 years and is issued by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants to give accounting professionals and students and people who are interested in the accounting profession understanding about the landscape of accounting, hiring practices, and the CPA exam, and some of the things that the AICPA is doing to help grow the profession. The Trends Report is a very good report, and it's some good reading if you just got 30 minutes so you can understand what's going on in the world of accounting and where there may be opportunities that you can take advantage of. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the AICPA Trends Report, and we're gonna specifically talk about the 2023 AICPA Trends Report, because remember, they come out about once every 2 years. So if you're online, you can actually go back and look at historical reports from 2021 and 2019 and beyond. But in this video, we're gonna talk about 2023, which is the most recent report. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because we just have a lot of good things that we're putting out there for you to make decisions on how you're gonna be successful in life, specifically through accounting, being a CPA, and being just a great individual, right? And then also, if you find that you find value in this video, please give it a like so that other people can see it. What is the AICPA Trends Report? It's a report that the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants puts out once every 2 years to give their readers an understanding of hiring practices at CPA firms, enrollments into the accounting profession, how accounting students and professionals are tracking with the CPA exam, which the AICPA also has a hand in, and they're working with the National Association of State Boards of Accountancies to come together and create the CPA exam. This report has a lot of information based on research from the surveys that they sent to CPA firms, the surveys that they sent to universities, and from a database called the IPEDS database, which is like this database of information regarding colleges and institutions to understand what their activities are. So it's actually called the, if I pull it up here on the phone, Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System. And there's a lot of data in this system, this database of systems regarding universities and colleges. But the AICPA pulls the data related to accounting, auditing, accounting and IT, accounting and taxation, and they use that data in their evaluation that they all put into this trends report. And I really like this report specifically because it talks about diversity in accounting, where the numbers are in terms of diversity and what the profession looks like. It will give you an updated understanding of what the AICPA is doing to help increase diversity in the profession, including what's happening with the CPA exam and also what's happening with some of the other initiatives and programs that are being spearheaded or sponsored or that the AICPA is a part of to help with growing the profession and growing diversity within the profession. But what I really like about this report is the CPA pipeline initiatives and programs that the AICPA is going to be spearheading from 2024 and beyond. I think they are game changers and are going to help a lot of people be more attracted to becoming an accountant and be more attracted and successful in becoming a CPA. When you're looking at the report, I want you to pay attention to one section of the report, which is the key insights section of the report. It's like the first section of the report right after the table of contents, and it gives you a highlight of what the report is saying. And if you read that section of the report, you'll get a good understanding of what the graphs and everything are saying. We're going to talk about what the AICPA Trends Report for 2023 talks about for its key insights. There's overall been a decline in enrollments for accounting over the last 3 years. The same can be said for people who are going and getting their master's degree. Over the last 3 years, we're seeing a decline in enrollments for masters in accounting. And that's something we want to change. That's why we have the trends report. That's why I do videos like this, because we want to encourage people to understand that there is a lot of opportunity in accounting. And we don't want to see the numbers going down. We want to see them going up. We want to see people say, hey, accounting is a great career. I'm going to go choose to make that my career of choice when I go to major in college and school. That's what it is, though. I mean, the data is saying that there has been a decline. Although there's still a nice amount of people who do choose to go into the profession, we're just seeing a decline from prior years. I'm sure there are a lot of different components to why that's happening. One of those years was 2020, when we experienced the pandemic, and we had a lot of people home who were thinking about different things. And one of those things included, what career path do I want to choose? I think that changed a lot of perspectives for a lot of people. And then since 2020, we're just seeing a slower decline and decrease. And it might be possibly because people think that as an accountant, you have to go into a job and you kind of lose that work-life flexibility, which in some cases, yes, but in some cases, no, too. So I think that might be a big contributing factor. I think you've got the topics of AI out there, and people are maybe not as interested anymore because they think AI is going to take over accountants' jobs. And I'm sure there's a lot of other things that are out there that may be contributing to the decline, but that's what they're seeing in the data. So, hey, it is what it is, and we want to change that. The next thing that they're seeing, and this is important, that firms, CPA firms, even though there is a decline in enrollments, there is still the same level of interest of CPA firms, and in a lot of cases, more interest to hire accounting degree-seeking students and professionals, okay? So the report in 2023 says that 91% of the respondents, and the AICPA is connected, y'all. They know all the different big CPA firms, and they have the ability to go and get the information. So when they send this survey off to the CPA firms, you get in the real facts of what they're doing. 91% of the CPA firms that they contacted said that they plan to, if not hire the same amount of accounting students, they are going to hire more, okay? So they're either hiring at the same rate or they're hiring aggressively, okay? So that right there should tell you, okay, if I'm looking at all the different career paths that I can choose, I'm gonna be competing with a lot of people to get career opportunities and job opportunities. If I go into accounting, I at least know that the firms are saying that they are aggressively hiring. And I've read some topics out there, I read some articles out there that say that firms are not even just looking for accounting degree seeking students. They're looking for all different types of backgrounds because there is just a shortage of talent overall that they can rely on and get. So they're opening that pool wider and saying, hey, if you got a great attitude and you have some kind of background, maybe in finance, maybe in economics, maybe in data analytics, technology, there's a lot of different degrees that they look at, but accounting is definitely one of the ones they're going to look at because they're accounting firms. And of course, they want to continue to bring in people who have an understanding of accounting, right, as a foundation. If 91% of these firms are hiring still, that's good. That's good. That means if I go in, I have a pretty good chance of securing a job opportunity that will not only pay me pretty well, but that will give me some level of security in terms of longevity in my career. So that's another key takeaway that they're saying in this report. And then for those of you who do identify as a diverse student or diverse accounting professional, right? So we're talking about Black or brown professionals. They didn't have anything specifically that they mentioned in the 2023 report in terms of hiring diverse professionals and candidates. But in the 2021 report, they did mention how in 2020, there was a increase in hiring of diverse professionals as well. So since 2020, there has only been more articles, more headlines, and more of a need for accounting to seek diversity. So I would make the assumption too that that trend has not stopped. And we're gonna get into some of those videos and some of those topics in other videos on this channel. But I'm telling you, there are so many opportunities for you if you are Black, if you are brown, and you are looking to enter accounting, because they have changed their mindset. They've changed the way that they're looking at it, and they understand that, you know what, accounting is not something that these communities are exposed to. And there's also some misconceptions about what accounting is and who accountants are in these communities. So we've got to do a better job of demystifying some of those things and bringing more awareness, right? Which is what this video, I'm hoping, is doing for you. I would also make the assumption that as these firms are hiring more, you can make the assumption that they are also hiring people who look like me, who look like you, and they want to see you get these opportunities, get this experience, and get the all the different education and knowledge that they have to offer through opportunities and working in these firms. Some other insights to take away is, yes, like I mentioned, even though that there's still not much representation in terms of diversity, the flip side of the coin is that the profession is still a predominantly non-ethically diverse profession. But there is some things that they're seeing in the data, which is that in terms of Blacks and African Americans, the numbers remain pretty constant in terms of accounting enrollments, and even with the CPA exam, which I think there's a tick up, maybe like a 1% tick up in terms of African Americans or Blacks that are passing and becoming CPAs, which is good. We'll take what we can get at this point. But one big news that I saw was that the amount of accounting enrollments in the Hispanic and Latin community is increasing quite nicely. So congratulations to you all. Looks like we're getting some headway with Hispanics and Latins. So we just want to see that same trend across the board, right? This is life-changing stuff that you can do for you and your families here. So those are the takeaways from key insights. Look at the charts on your own in the report. Here they are, right? They talk about all the key insights that we just covered. And I'm gonna put links, look at the links below, get the report, and just spend a little time on them. Because again, it's good for you to understand and know this information, so you just get a feel for what's going on out there, okay? Now, the AICPA Trends Report also discusses the CPA exam, because it's important that those of you who seek to be accountants also make it a goal for you to become certified accountants, certified public accountants. There are also certified managerial accountants and other certifications that you can pursue under the umbrella of accounting. But we all in the accounting profession know that the CPA license, the Certified Public Accounting License, is that prestigious license. It's the #1 license right now. And we don't see a lot of diverse people getting their certifications for accounting to be a CPA. And that's something that there is a huge push to see more of. And there's a lot of things that are happening to make that happen. We're going to talk about the CPA pipeline next, which is one thing that they're doing to help understand why we're not seeing as many Black and brown individuals not only go into accounting, but pass the CPA exam and become CPAs. But the AICPA Trends Report talks about the CPA exam, and it doesn't go into it in too much detail, but it does say that the CPA exam is out there. It's the premier exam you need to pass to get the CPA license, and they encourage all accounting professionals, regardless of what ethnic background you come from, to go and pursue getting your CPA license, right? And a CPA license requires different requirements based on the state, but overall, you have to go take the CPA exam, which is a 4-hour exam per section. There's 4 sections. You take each section for about 4 hours, and then once you pass all 4 sections, you can say, hey, now all you gotta do is go out and get experience working under a CPA, and then you become certified. And then you also have to go to college and get enough college credits. There's other videos, and I'll do some more videos on what it takes to become a CPA if you're not familiar with that process. But it does say that there are changes being made to the CPA exam, and that those changes are supposed to help support more people pass the CPA exam and become a CPA, and not only pass and become a CPA, but also be skilled enough to go out in this world in 2024 and be able to be equipped with the knowledge you need to go face the challenges of the world, right? That these businesses are faced with, that these communities are faced with, that the government is faced with. Because if you're not familiar, CPAs and accountants serve the public interest in many ways. So you gotta be well-versed to know how to serve the interests of the public, whether it be a public company that's traded on the stock market, whether it be the government because they serve the public, whether it be a nonprofit organization because they also serve the public. And accountants don't just serve the public, CPAs don't just serve the public. CPAs are well-versed in also a lot of areas, so they also serve private individuals as well, high equity individuals, private organizations. There's a lot that we do. So they talk about that as well. And they also talk about how some of those changes include the change to the CPA exam, getting rid of BEC and replacing the BEC section with the 3 discipline sections, of which you can choose one of the 3 to go into. And we have done a video on that on this channel, so I'll link it below, and I'll also link it maybe up here somewhere. The data is roughly the same in terms of people who are passing and taking the CPA exam, which is much lower than enrollments in accounting, right? Most people go and they just graduate in accounting and then get their degree. To get your CPA is another challenge, another journey, and not as many people do that. However, they should, because that is where it's at, y'all. Like, you gotta get your CPA license. At that point, there's tons of opportunities, tons of money-making opportunities for you to be able to change your life. So that's why you gotta go through that process, okay? All right, so let's talk about the CPA pipeline and the programs that the AICPA has to offer to help you become a CPA and go into accounting. There is a section of the AICPA Trends Report called the CPA Pipeline Initiatives and Programs section, okay? And this is actually my favorite section of the report because it talks about the different programs and initiatives that the AICPA is involved with in order to help the CPA pipeline, okay? So just for a moment, let's talk about what the CPA pipeline is. This is a journey for an individual to go from someone who knows nothing about accounting or the CPA license to becoming certified as a CPA, and then ultimately, in many ways, becoming either a partner or like a business owner as a CPA, right? What is the things that an individual has to do to go from not knowing about accounting and a CPA license to actually becoming a CPA and even a partner, right, at a CPA firm? All of the things that have to happen in that time frame is called the CPA pipeline. And they call it a pipeline because it's the path you have to go through, like a pipe, right? You have to go through these steps in order to get from point A to point Z. And that includes going to high school, graduating from high school. Typically, most people will go to college. When they graduate from college, have about 120 hours of qualifying credits to sit for the CPA exam, but then they have to get an additional 30 credits to meet 150 credit hours that it requires to get your CPA license, right? So in some states with 120 credit hours, you can sit and take the CPA exam. And in other states, you might need the whole 150 to sit for the exam. Across the board, if you don't have 120 credit hours, you can't sit for the CPA exam. So you've got to have that as a minimum. And then you can sit, but then in other states and cases, you might need to get the additional 30 credit hours before you can sit take the exam. So that's a whole process in itself. And you got to think that's at least, I mean, that right there is, if you really look at it, that's like a 13, 14 year commitment. If you're talking about going through getting through high school and then doing the additional 4 years, right? That's like, you can look at that as like a 16-year commitment. But let's just talk about college, right? You do 4 years, you get your 120 credit hours. Then you got to get the additional 30 hours. Then you have to pass the CPA exam. Then you have to go and get experience working under a CPA for a certain amount of hours. And once you've done that, you can then submit all of the documentation you need to show you've gone through that process and then become a CPA. And then if you go beyond just becoming a CPA, then you've got to go and work at a firm and then go through the ranks, right? You go through staff, senior manager, and then eventually potentially become a partner. All of those steps encompass the CPA pipeline. Again, the CPA pipeline is something that everybody has to go through, but for diverse individuals, it's much harder because you have a lot of things that are stacked against you to go through that process, right? If you wanted to talk about it, we could say, hey, like, do you have the money to pay for college? Or do you have responsibilities that prevent you from being able to really study for the CPA exam or go to college or get a job at the Big Four, right? There's just a lot of factors that could play on that. So the AICPA and a lot of other organizations are trying to understand what are some things that can be hindrances for diverse professionals and diverse students from going through that process, and how can they support someone through that process to make it a little bit easier for them to be able to get their CPA license. So that's the pipeline, right? We've talked about the pipeline. Let's talk about what they're doing in terms of helping the pipeline, right? So one thing that I like a lot that they have, right, which I think is going to be great for people, is called the Experience, Learn, and Earn program. This program is new, and they have their first cohort of students beginning classes in January of 2024 is what the trends report says. As of now, it's in May 2024. So I'm wondering if they've gone through that first cohort or if they're still working on getting this set up. But this program, called the ELE program, is a program that's going to allow to assist students with getting the 150 credit hours that they need, right? So it says the AICPA and NASBA are launching an integrated education and experience program to assist students with completing the 150 credit hours of education required for their CPA license. The ELE program combines meaningful online academic coursework with work experience. The program allows students to earn up to 30 educational credit hours, asynchronous courses from our partners while they're employed with the CPA firm. So imagine you've gone through this process and you've gotten your 120 credit hours, and now you're working because you want to make some money, but now you're working and you're making money, but you've also got responsibilities that the firms are putting on you because now you have client work, and you're still trying to get acclimated to what client work at a Big Four or at a CPA firm even looks like. And you've got this requirement to get an additional 30 credit hours just so you can meet your goal of becoming a CPA. Well, this ELE program is a program that's going to help. It's going to be the AICPA partnering with these firms to say, hey, we understand that it's a lot for someone to get an additional 30 credit hours while they're still trying to work and provide for themselves. So why don't we make it so that these 30 credit hours can be earned through their work experience, right? Instead of having to have a full-time job and then also figure out in your off time how to get these additional 30 credit hours. There's been a lot of people who have run themselves into the ground trying to do this, okay? But yeah, this program is supposed to be designed to make that workload much more manageable. So I think it's gonna be great that they get it done and it starts to help people to do that. It's called the ELE program, and in the report, they include links. That's why it's important for you to go and get the report, because they also have links to the websites and the resources that give you more information about it. I'm gonna include the links in this video in the comments, so you can go down there and they'll give you the direct links to the websites to get more information on it. And I'm gonna be covering these in more videos, so make sure you subscribe. But definitely that's going to be something that I think is going to be very beneficial for a lot of people. Let's talk about the next thing that they're doing. So really quick, they are talking about how they're going to be working with firms to help provide tools to help create a better culture that supports diverse professionals in their organizations, which is very important, because it's one thing to be identified as a diverse professional, right, in accounting, but then to walk in a world where there's nobody who looks like you or has the same experiences around you can be challenging. I know, because I have gone through that. So they're creating programs that are going to teach these firms how to better support their diverse team members in their groups. So that's another thing that they mentioned in this report. The next thing that they cover is the high school and college initiatives that the AICPA has. And they have quite a few of them. I'm going to run through them. One is called Growing the Academic Champions Program. It's a network of direct relationships with active educators who act as CPA advocates and share university best practices. The next one is expanding broader educator outreach by growing audiences for faculty hour webcasts and academic updates. So I think that's something that's going to support educators more in trying to teach their students the benefits of going into a career like accounting. They have something called the Accounting Opportunities Experience, which was previously known as the Accounting Opportunities Week. It's a week to month-long program designed to raise awareness of accounting career opportunities among high school students and bringing CPAs into the classroom. So that's going to be awesome. If you have CPAs in the classroom discussing what we do, then that should also help to bring that education and awareness at an early stage in that pipeline, because that is one of the main things that all of these organizations are focusing on first in terms of the CPA pipeline, which is getting education and awareness earlier out there while students are in high school. I didn't know about accounting until I got into college, and I definitely didn't have very much exposure to it. All right, so then they have the AICPA and CIMA Student Ambassador Program, where they're working with students across digital platforms and AICPA events. And the purpose is to build trust and foster relationships and provide leadership opportunities for students, which is awesome. And then this last one that they're mentioning under high school and college initiatives, I like as well. It's the AICPA's Accounting Scholarship Leadership Workshop. And I spoke with the Director of Diversity and Inclusion at the AICPA about the ASLW program in some detail last year. And I'm going to work to get an interview set up so we can talk about it in some more detail. But this program, I know, is an amazing program for those of you who are involved. The things that they're doing to show you how good it can be for students to go into the profession of accounting through this program are great. They're amazing. If you are someone who's interested in it, if you're a student specifically, please look up this program. We're going to do some more videos on it, but please look up this program and enroll and get involved, because I'm telling you, you're not going to regret it. You're going to get a lot from it. And you just got to get involved. So that's another good thing that they're doing. Hold on, this phone locked on me really quick. ASLW program, which is the next thing that's really cool that they mentioned, is that they're fighting to get accounting recognized as a STEM program. So fighting to get accounting recognized as a STEM program, which I think is cool because it should be. It involves math. It involves technology, and in some cases you get exposure to some engineering. You get exposure to all of it, right? Even science. Scientists need accountants, engineering needs accountants, technology needs accountants, accountants do a lot of math. We should be in STEM, y'all. Okay, so there it is. And then they go on to talk about some other things as well. So read the report too, because they talk about the AICPA Foundation and their endowment. So that's money that they're raising and that they're getting to support their efforts. And then the other thing that they talk about here is the extending the 18-month window for passing the CPA exam to a 30-month window, which was a rule that got adopted. So now when you pass the first section of the CPA exam, you're getting more time to pass the remaining 3 sections of the exam. We've done a video on that as well, so check that out on our channel. Also, they're talking about the expansion of Section 529 funds, which is the AICPA fighting to get more support around covering CPA exam related costs, potentially to get some, I guess, government funding to help people pay for the CPA exam and study materials and the cost to take the CPA exam. I think the biggest thing that you've got to mention in this trends report that I wanted to make sure that y'all were aware of too, right? Check this out, y'all. Check this out. The accounting profession wants diversity so bad in the accounting profession. They want to change the way it looks so bad that they created a advisory board called, let me pull it up here because I'm looking at my phone to make sure I get this name right. This advisory board is called the National Pipeline Advisory Group, okay? And This is a group of CPAs, CPA societies, state boards, academia, and AICPA and CIMA National Commission and Diversity Inclusion members, firms of all sizes, businesses, just a bunch of people, right, who are coming together to say, what do we have to do to help with this CPA pipeline and increasing diversity in the accounting profession? They literally are pulling people from all over the country to come up with new and fresh ideas for how to increase diversity in accounting. Where do you even hear that at? Where do you hear a whole industry saying, we've got to get more diversity? The numbers have been one-sided for so long in this profession that we need to figure out creative ways to get the attention of more diverse students and professionals in this business. You're not hearing that in a lot of places. And that means there's opportunity for you, because if you are fitting the mark of what they're looking for in terms of diversity, right? Then if you ask enough questions, if you knock on enough doors, there's going to be a door that opens for you. It opened for me. I'm going to tell you the truth. It opened for me and changed my life. That's the truth. And they weren't even focused on it then, right? I just was like, this has to change. And in order for it to change, I got to be one of the many who walked through that door. And there are a lot of us who have walked through this door. A lot of us who saw the opportunity before they were focused on it at the 1,000-foot level. But nowadays they are focused on this at 1,000-foot level. The CAQ is talking about their commitment. They made a commitment to diversity in the profession and audit. AICPA has made the commitment. The National Association of Black Accountants have made their commitment. We've got new organizations that are coming out that are making the commitment to their affinity groups that are helping to promote that education for diversity. And now they have the National Pipeline Advisory Group, which I went to their website, and it shows that they even have a pledge page that says, we just need everybody to take 1 or 2 steps to increasing the diversity and education and awareness of accounting in the profession, and just pledge to do your thing. This is one of my things, creating videos for you like this. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this advisory group is going to continue to do for the profession and for increasing diversity within the profession. Check out their webpage. I'll have it linked in this video as well for you to go and explore and take the pledge. Take the pledge. Overall, that is the trends report. Comes out once every 2 years. It is great reading material if you've got 30 to 45 minutes to just look at it and understand what's happening out there in the world of accounting. But also, like I said, to get an update on what the AICPA is doing to support accountants, to support CPAs, to support students. So please share this with students who are confused about what to do with their lives, okay? If they don't know what they want to study or what they want to go into, tell them accounting. Tell them about accounting. Say, hey, they will pay and they will provide, it provides a lot of security. Those are the things that people like accounting for, right? I mean, it sounds boring, but it's been known to be one of those career paths that provide a lot of security, because accountants are needed all over the place, right? In every industry, in every company, you need an accountant. Going into accounting doesn't mean that you're just gonna be given all this opportunity without working hard. You're gonna work hard. You're gonna work hard. However, the experiences, like I said, job security, the pay, the opportunity to increase your pay and to do some other things that will help you and your lifestyle and your family are abundant in this profession. So we definitely want to encourage everybody who's interested to go out and pursue accounting as a career, right? And that's what this report is doing. It's not only telling you to pursue accounting because firms are hiring. They are hiring. That's one thing that they are saying in this report, that firms are hiring. And if they're hiring, that means there's a door for you to walk through. Make sure to get that report. Make sure to check out all the links in this video. And make sure to subscribe to CPA University. And if you enjoyed this video, hit a like on it. And then we're going to see you on the next video where we're going to be discussing all kind of stuff. Some of the stuff that we talked about in this video and some new stuff, y'all. So stay tuned.